Our guest today is Ernie Gomez with HVAC Providers and
Yes, sir.
the Cutler Bay Business Association. And thank you for being here. And you've been pretty busy recently, so tell us what's been going on in your industry.
Yeah, in my own world, right?
Yes.
Well, Michael, again, thank you for having us here. You know, it's great always being here at the Miami Community Newspaper. Thank you for supporting the industry show that we've have now like 9 times that we've
Yes.
done this show, and we have a lot of viewers that have interest in the industry show because we bring the latest and greatest news of construction sites and what's happening around town. And yes, I haven't seen you in a couple of months, and
Yes.
I've been a little lost. And it's because we've been pivoting in our business. We had a little transition going on with the program that we adopted from FIU, and they lost some grant money, and so they discontinued our program.
So the program was you could get people, men and women, young and older, right, to go in and learn how to get into the air conditioning and heating business.
Correct. Yeah, it's a certification that they get. They could learn HVAC within 8 months. It's a program. So basically, FIU, does no longer have the grant money to support our HVAC program. So we have adopted the program ourselves.
So people students go to your classes, to go to your office warehouse, and you
Yes.
teach them there.
Right. And the industry name now is for the school is called Level 5 HVAC School. And you could visit our website. I think it's listed up there under HVAC, level5hvac.com. And there you could take a look at the training lab that we have now ready. We have a national accreditation program from NCCER that they provide this program for us to teach the students in a small setting classroom. We have instructors that are also certified by NCCR, and they're teaching the class. We teach about new construction. We teach them about the basics of AC and refrigeration, about the real business world, about trainings of what we do, lunch and learn, because we also train and certify engineers, architects, and contractors.
And the business that's on that site, besides the school, is that you provide HVAC equipment to installers.
That is correct.
So
Yeah.
people, installers would go to your place of business and buy the machines and put them in for their end user customer.
Right.
So your students, you go to your class. Tell us about the classes, when they're being held, and during the evening or afternoons, and tell us about that.
Sure. Well, the classes will be held twice a week. They're from 6 to 9:30 in the afternoon. Saturdays we have testing. Andrea is our proctor, so we do have a proctor in place to do testing. They're done in a classroom setting with laptops where you have to submit the exam, and you get automatic results of what modules you passed and where you need to go back and redo if need be.
So somebody with no business, no experience in that, could go there in a period of 8 months. They're going to go through all the tests. They're going to be on the site working with equipment. And when they walk out, they're going to have a certificate. And it's a whole lot easier to go get a job when you can say to a air conditioning installing company, hey, I graduated over there. I'd like an opportunity.
That is correct. So this program, we have a curriculum to follow, which NCCR provides us with that curriculum. They start off with what is called core construction, and that is so that they learn the basics about construction. Remember, if we're going to work in a construction as a team,
Yes.
we have plumbers, electricians, roofers. So we got to know we teach them in these courses and the core construction what each and every one of them does.
So there might be, it's like you go to medical school, and then once you're done with medical school, I want to be a good doctor. I want to be a pediatrician or a urologist, whatever.
That is correct. Yeah.
So, and so it's two evenings a week. Testing is on Saturday,
Right.
and then it goes over a period of 8 months.
8 months, right.
What's the charge for that?
And then going back to when they finish core, because what we teach them is first core construction, and in that core they have also a certification OSHA 10. The OSHA 10 is a safety class that's included in this core book that they have to follow, and that is because they need to have safety protocols and procedures when they're on the site, on the job site. There is also an OSHA 30 that we're going to be offering, and again, OSHA 10 is 10 hours. OSHA 30 is a 30-hour program. So in this core is an OSHA 10 program. And once you finish core, we'll get you started in level 1 HVAC, which covers basic electrical, basic refrigeration system, soldering, and additional other items that we have included in there.
And on the OSHA testing, are those standalone modules? If somebody needed to be updated on some things, could they go to that module?
Yes, of course, yeah. They're individual modules, and the student moves along as they complete those modules. But in order to move along, they need to pass the exam.
So it must feel really good inside that you're helping these young men and these young women that had no experience in it, but want to find out what it's about, that's willing to spend their time and their energies, and to be able to walk out with a job or soon thereafter,
Sure.
and to be in that industry. So they may not want to work for somebody forever, but maybe what they can go do is you go work for somebody and go, I think I want to start my own business. And certainly that's one of the steps.
Right. This is the first step to leading that rope, right? Everybody wants to jump that bridge or jump that rope, right? No, you got to follow the steps. I mean, if you're going to be a business owner, right? I'm sure when you started this, Michael, you needed to record, right? You needed to go through everything to get to where you are, correct?
I'm the best delivery guy around.
Really? You see? You used to deliver the paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So if the delivery guy that does deliveries now for you is not showing up, you know exactly where he's at.
We do.
You're right. So that's exactly what I try and tell my students and people we try to mentor, is that you need to follow these ropes, our steps. We'll guide you from letter A through letter Z and get you to be a certified contractor and own your own business. That's the ultimate goal.
How do you encourage the student that's going, I'm not getting this too well, Ernie. I'm not sure if I understand it. Are you able to provide them some support without them getting too embarrassed, and be able to say, listen, just look at it this way? Can you tell us what your team does to help those students?
Yes. Well, what we do is a lot of the students that we get, to give an example, our material has math. And like the second or third class, we've taught these classes before. Remember, we used to teach this for FIU. Yes. So what we did was we took the math and we moved it towards the back of the lesson, because we don't want them to fall, hey, I have to do math now. No. So we encourage them to always keep them excited. And so we try and mix it up. We have a few pictures here we like to share, because we take them to the shop, and then they do their lectures, but then we take them to the back of the shop. If you could share some of those pictures. That's our school, the front of our school. Those are the students that are actually participating right now in our Saturday classes that we have hands-on training. If you can go to the next slide.
All different heights too.
Yeah, we have,
perfectly lined up.
From the youngest to the oldest, and that's level 5. As you see, they all have their hands up for level 5 HVAC, because vocational schools here in Dade County only go up to level 4. We teach higher and better technology than everyone else, honestly, because we represent factories and manufacturers. So we get direct training, the best training, the latest technology from direct manufacturers. That's what we are. And there we have the hands-on training, so they don't get overwhelmed with reading. They get a little bit more of hands-on that no other school offers that.
And I think that's important, all right, to be able to do that, to have somebody actually show you, show and tell.
Yes, because nowadays you go through a program, you spend 8 months, and you have no clue of what an air conditioning even looks like. All they teach you is with books. We teach hands-on. And as you could see, we are with NCCR. HVAC Providers comes out as one of their providers under Miami-Dade College, South Dade, and FIU also is one of their providers. But as you could see, HVAC Providers, level 5 HVAC is now listed as one of their centers.
Well, that's wonderful, especially the part of the math, all right, that you move that. So, because if they're moving along with the other things, you say, listen, you've completed 80% of this, rather than you didn't do well in the first part.
In this picture, you can see here we do welding, hands-on welding. That's our instructor, Landis, and one of our students. We teach them, they started raw. They had no idea about how to solder. And we teach them how to manage the tanks, how to program them, how to hold the welding stick, the temperature, everything.
So at this location here, they can also, they start seeing the different type of parts that are used. In your warehouse, you go, oh my goodness, look at all this stuff.
Right. When they finish this program, they'll be able to get employed by a contractor that we're going to refer them, and they're going to find a job. They're going to do their diligent time. They have to work minimum 3 or 4 years on their contractors, and then they can apply for their own license. But by the time they get through this program, they work for a contractor, they'll be set ready to open up their company, be able to maintain a family, like you're saying, and now they have a career and make money, have a good job.
And some people, maybe they don't want to go do that, but they want to wind up working in the parts department. They could wind up doing that because they're going to have enough experience.
That is correct.
And certainly after a year or two of that, they're going to know every part. I'll bet you did that. Did you?
Yes,
I
did. I did that. And as a matter of fact, I have a former student. His name is Anthony. And we trained him and certified him in our school. And now he's working for a local supply house. AAA Supply on Bird Road. He's working there in the sales counter. So yes, you learn the basics of air conditioning, refrigeration with our program, and that includes heating, ventilation, refrigeration, and air conditioning.
What a great way to learn. You get that, and you can go
Yes.
in, and you have all the different customers that are coming in. They need this widget. He looks it up, and he goes to the shelf and say, "Here it is." And at some point, you get it.
Yes.
Right? And you go, "Okay, this is a motor. This is what the motor does. Here's the widgets here."
Right.
And you listen to the customers, explain what they need.
Mhm.
And at some point, there could be some guidance by that person.
Yes.
Because they have a lot of experience.
Yes, and now I have also 2 former students that they're working for a call center. So this call center manages calls for different manufacturers, and they sit in a desk, and they help technicians troubleshoot equipment remotely. And we have 2 of our former students right now working for.
So the guy's out in the field. He's having a problem.
No. Right. Right.
And he
calls
contacts the call center.
from all over the country, and now this former student is being trained by this company to learn how to assist via internet, whatever, phone call, whatever it may be, to help them fix and repair that equipment remotely.
So in today's environment, you realize you could do a live video, say, "Here's the problem."
That's what it looks like, yes.
Right,
And they
okay.
help them fix it. Hit dip switch number 3, number 4, and they have a book and a scheme where they follow.
Would they follow my plan? If it doesn't print, hit the print button about 10 times.
I'm sure.
Bingo, bingo, bingo.
I'm sure, Michael, you'll make it work. I am so sure about that.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yes.
Right. And so let's talk a little bit about your business and the type of equipment you have and the type of ultimately where some of your equipment winds up. Because again, you're not the installer,
Right.
You're the provider of the equipment.
Right. So my thing, how we came about the school was that we focused not in selling boxes. What we focused is selling a project well done. Remember, we're going into people's houses, people's families. If we oversize or undersize equipment, there's a health issue. So we train and certify contractors in the products that we sell and the technology that we teach so that they're properly sizing up equipment. So not only we train and certify contractors, we also train and certify engineers and architects on a daily basis.
So one of the things I've seen is that there are some technicians, repair guys, if they're asked by the equipment's not any good, it's somebody's business or home, sometimes these guys won't do that work and figure out because they might look at what the equipment was when it went in, which could have been incorrect from the get-go.
Oh, yes.
And so I'm sure you've been faced with that. And then you've got mildew issues, humidity issues.
That's right.
Too much, too little.
Too much, too little, yes. You can't rule of thumb a project and a job. You really need to have heat loads. You need to have mechanical drawings. We need to know how much insulation there is in that house to be able to size up the equipment. Remember, we don't cool anything. All right? That's the mentality here. We don't cool anything. We remove heat. You understand?
Yeah.
So if we don't have heat, and if there's not enough heat, and we overcool a room, we're causing humidity. And that's the problem here in South Florida. That people just rule of thumb units. Oh, I have 400 square feet, that's 1 ton of air. But how much windows do we have? How much insulation do we have? So we take all those values into consideration, and that's what we teach and train. That's why we're successful in the school.
When I started understanding the concept of electricity, the reality is a switch only allows the current to go through. The current
Right.
is always there.
There.
It's
That's right.
always there. It's just whether you're going to open the door or not.
Right.
It's
You're going
like
to open that circuit.
Yes. So, and tell us how long you've been in the air conditioning arena.
Well, I've been over 25 years. And again, I started in the HVAC school. And that's why I feel like I'm giving back to the community. I'm giving back to students what I've learned. and I've always been able to maintain my family, myself, my business, just by going from a vocational school program into this.
So your location is south, approximately what street and avenue?
The address is 13070 Southwest 248th Street, Bay Number 1. We're located in Homestead, Florida, 33032, and my phone number is 305-879-2994. And if anyone is interested and wants to change somebody's life, maybe you might have a cousin, a brother, a sister that hasn't found their niche, hasn't found anything that motivates them, please send them our way, and we'll be glad to get them started in this program.
And I think it's important for younger people, or whatever the age is.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you do, it may not be forever, but
Right.
maybe you're going to do it for today,
Right.
and then tomorrow.
You could use it for tomorrow.
Yes.
Yes,
And I think that's an important issue.
that's important.
And so often we go to school and we go, when am I ever going to use this? Well, maybe you won't, all right?
Mm-hmm.
But what else are you going to do?
Right, right,
And so they can find something, get some direction.
right.
And I think that it's wonderful what you're doing, because you're really changing lives, not just to the student, but to their family.
To their family.
And their
That is correct.
children and all these other people.
Yes.
So you're also pretty active in the business community. Tell us about the business organization.
Yes, well, I'm involved also with Cutler Bay Business Association with CBBA. I've been the president there now for 2 years, and we're trying to get our meetings back up and running. We had a little situation with East Ridge. Their facility for the elderly there didn't allow us to do anything during COVID. So we had to move our meetings a little bit around, and it just dissipated our members because we kept going to different places. This has to be constant. And unfortunately, Cutler Bay is in need of a restaurant or a big place that we could have and host events.
Well, so as you know, South Plain Mall, Cutler Ridge Mall, whatever the
We're waiting for that.
reiteration is,
Yes.
it's going to be, in the next 5 to 7 years, it's going to be over $1.5 billion that can be spent. It's going to be lots of housing, lots of entertainment, lots of parking. So there'll be a place in a couple of years. I haven't been down recently, but I understand a lot of it's already cleared out.
Yes.
And they're going to start building. It's starting with.
They're starting to break out that old Sears building.
Yes.
I saw it there.
And
They're demolitioning
Yes,
it.
an extraordinary project. And this time it's going to work.
I hope.
The people that are doing that, they own some very big projects around town.
Okay.
And we know that the public transportation, as much as people didn't like it, it's going to be there. It's a $300 million project to bring these brand new, slick-looking buses,
Wow.
all right, that are going up and down the highway, and be able to get people there across the street, and they'll walk from here to there, put aside the rain and the heat, all right? But they will be able to work there without necessarily having a car. Soon, Cutler Bay, Cutler Ridge area will be booming. It's going to be a massive construction that's going on.
When are they going to finalize that project? What, do they have a date?
They figure it's going to be about 2 years before it really starts to take hold. It's going to be done in phases. It's going to be a huge medical healthcare center that's there, because I heard it was over 50,000 square feet.
Oh,
It's
wow.
going to be there.
Are they going to maintain the mall with its integrity, or are they going to
I think
work around
I
it?
think that most of it is going to be changed around.
Okay.
But again, it's a 5 to 7 year project. So
Oh, it
there's
is.
plenty of time for things to happen there.
To develop.
And there will be, it'll be an entertainment center where people will be able to go there and spend a couple of hours there, and not just, I'm just going to go over here. Part of it is, to be able to walk through the mall, and because in spite of what's happening digitally and online, people still, 60% of shoppers say they wish they could have a shopping experience.
And they can go out.
And they can go out.
Right.
and
Because
do that.
now, before it was a norm. Now it's a challenge
Yes.
to go out. Now I want to go out
Yes,
and
that's what
spend
happened.
money.
Certainly COVID did that with,
Right.
with a lot of people, a lot of business clubs. So when people do want to belong, whether it's called the Cutler Bay Business Association or the South Bay
Yes,
Chamber,
yes.
whatever it is, people want to have that camaraderie
Yes.
that so many people had missed out on. We know there were a lot of mental health issues as people were traumatized from not being around many people.
Right.
I just read a study that if you're a loner, it will cost you your health.
Oh, wow.
Hearing, vision, communication skills, early
I agree.
dementia, because you don't have that stimulation that's
I
there
agree.
when you go to a meeting and see people. You're very expressive and you're moving.
You always have to be on your 2 feet.
Yes.
Right.
And so what I hope is that some of the merchants down there and some of the former members decide, okay, let's get together, and we're happy to help you and communicate that whatever way you want us, to do
Yes,
that.
I know. We always have your support.
And so to give people an idea, there's Chamber South, which is very active, Pinecrest, Palmetto Bay, Coral Gables Chamber, the
That's
Doral
correct.
Chamber.
Mhm.
West Kendall's about to start with start their meetings back up. They also suffered from this big generic area and COVID.
There you
It's
go.
like, okay.
Right. It's a challenge.
Yes, and that's very very normalized. So again, there's a purpose. When we went to the Eastridge, we had people that we did business with that were there.
Right.
Actually, there were 4 of our clients that were there. And I'm going, that's why I show up. And we want to know that we care enough to be able to be there.
That's correct.
So whenever you're ready for us to assist, if it gets that
Yeah,
point,
yeah.
we're
We're going to
happy
get
to do that.
CVBA back and running, and again, it's a network business to business owners, and we encourage them, from different counties to come
Yes.
over and see what we have to offer.
So we do a monthly luncheon at Casa Cuba here in South Miami. We had our county commissioner, who's vice chair in this area, Anthony Rodriguez,
Mm-hmm.
and it was wonderful. We're there, and it was super.
You sent me a couple of invites,
Yes,
and
I
yes,
did.
yes,
And this is people typically parked across the street at the Winn-Dixie parking lot, but the Winn-Dixie
yes.
is being torn down, and a
Oh, wow.
apartment building and a grocery store is going up there. And what's happened is each of the areas in South Miami will be an entertainment center like Cutler Bridge.
Right, it's going to be
Cutler
over
Bay
there.
is going to have, because you have to have that in a downtown.
Right.
And when you think about it, Palmetto Bay does not have that. Pinecrest does not have that. Cutler Bay is going to have that.
And what happened with Sunset Place? Since we're talking about the industry show and buildings, yeah.
So
What's
here's
going
what-
on?
sev- Several years ago, it
What's
was
going on?
Probably 5. The project got approved for a lot of apartment buildings and hotels. The developer sold it because of COVID. Now the guy that bought it, I'm sure it's worth 2 to 3 times what it was when he bought it. He's applying for some additional changes for more height, more density, more people. There will be in South Miami in 5 years between the Winn-Dixie project and apartment complexes going up a few blocks from here.
And Sunset Place.
And Sunset Place, there will be, in Sunset Place, there will be literally in 5 years from now, assuming the city legislature goes through, 1,000, 2,000 people a day, more, maybe 3,000, in and out of there, walking around the city. So it's going to be a hotel and condos and entertainment. And when we can do that, that's one of the ways that what people can do. They may shop somewhere else online, all right? But when they go out to be entertained in a center, they walk to the restaurant inside. They go, oh, look at this store, and can they do business with them? So we're excited for us down here,
Okay.
and we know Homestead's continuing to grow.
To grow.
And Cutler Bay, the city is going to create its new. What do we call it? Where City Hall is going to be, I forget the name of it, but it's on 16 acres,
Mhm.
and it's going to be really a central park for the city. And people are going to be able to go, and they can sit near City Hall, and they can take. They're going
Like they have up in Miramar.
yes. And
Have
they're
you
gonna
seen the
be
City Hall in Miramar?
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Oh yes.
It's
Oh
gorgeous.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
I go up there every couple of months.
Okay.
And you're going to be able to play different games that are
Okay.
there. We know pickleball is taking the nation by
Yes,
storm.
I
all right?
heard about
I
that.
think
Uh-huh.
Cutler Bay's put in a couple pickleball
Sure.
courts down there. All
Mhm.
things that are important.
Right.
So again, so if somebody wants to find out about what it's like to be in the HVAC business, that's heating and
Ventilation and air conditioning.
Right. They
Yep.
can call you. They can go to the website,
Yes,
look
sir.
around, they
Yes,
can
sir.
find out all the information.
Yes.
Right. And again, that's at the south end.
On
And
the south end of
classes
town.
are over an 8-month period, two times a week.
Twice a week. Yes, sir.
In the evening, so they're working
In the
somewhere
evening,
else.
they're
Right?
working
And 6
somewhere.
o'clock.
They
6
show up to
o'clock,
class. Yep.
and-
Show up to class.
And you're going to walk them through, and you're going to have somebody that's going to help people like me who I can't figure it out, and they get shown. This is what you're going to do.
Yeah,
You're going
you
to take
saw
this,
the pictures there live.
yeah,
Yeah.
take this one, and you got to put it over there.
Oh, there. Yep. Yep. We show them
And-
how to pipe it in, how to use a coupling, how to use an elbow, how to use the proper tools.
And so for the uninitiated, when you take the casing off of the outside condensing unit,
Yes.
like, oh, look.
Michael, with all these classes I've had here with you, all this,
know.
you already know about all this
And I'm
stuff.
like, oh, look at
He,
this.
he,
look at
he
this,
can be
look at
already an
this.
installer here.
Right. You see me sometimes. I go over. I go. Listen,
I have Michael Miller
I go
trained
inside,
already.
Okay, is it frozen in here now? Let me go in the back and let me go over there. Okay. And
Check your filter. See,
yeah, and I'm going. Look at this, and it's just enough to get into trouble, but also just enough to know you need to
what's
do
going
something.
on. Right.
And then it's terrific, especially for people that have an interest in it. They can go, again, they can take these classes, and again, they can find out information for you. Again, your core business, besides now you're in the education arena, which I think is tremendous.
Yes, thank you.
Because you can make a huge difference.
Yes, thank you, Michael.
So your wholesale business, you sell only to
Contractors.
contractors. You take that, they're going to install it themselves.
Right.
And you do on the big projects, you go and you
On site.
on site, and you're going there. Tell us why you go there.
I go there to review the project. I go there to meet with the contractor, with the general contractor, with the HVAC contractor.
Yep.
The GC is the general contractor. That's the one that overlooks the whole site. At times, the homeowner might come in, and also the owner's representative, because we work in big projects, penthouses, you know. So we also bring my territory manager, that she helps me out with my orders to make sure that what we're ordering is correct. And I oversee the project to make sure that where they're going to hang the units, where they're going to put it, where it's going to all work, and make sure that they're doing the right thing. And once we get back to the office, we get these plans and submittals, you know, back and forward to the engineers, mechanical, you know, to get the project together. Then we finalize it. The contractor provides the end user or the GC with a price to do the job. If they do it, they get a deposit, and they order the equipment from us. We deliver, and you get your beautiful house installed.
Do you typically get hired by the general contractor or by the
Air conditioning guy. Correct. Right.
And so you work with him.
I work
and
with him.
maybe with some of the installers to make sure they're doing that. You go there and make sure that things are good.
Already.
So
Yes,
tell us
sir.
about what happens when people order stuff online.
Oh my God.
Equipment.
That's the worst thing you can do.
Tell us
Because, well, you have to be factory authorized, distributor, wholesale distributor in order to buy, because manufacturers read that little fine line, will say to you, if you purchase this equipment online, your warranty will be voided. And the reason is because we have electrical components in there, and if someone that is not trained and certified to install that particular equipment that they just bought online, they burn it, or it's not the right application, or it doesn't fit in that closet, right? Or it doesn't fit in that right space. Trust me, if you don't measure it right, you might have a water heater in that closet, and if you bought the wrong air handler, it's not going to fit.
So even though it's a well-recognized manufacturer, if you buy it over there, all right, you're not
Yes,
gonna have a warranty.
you're not going to have a warranty unless it's installed by a certified installer.
So if somebody buys a $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 widget, they put it in, all right, they put it in themselves, and then 6 months later, zap.
Zap, boom, done. The other thing that's happening right now, we're having a lot of electrical problems with electrical surge protectors. You got to put those in the equipment, because a lot of manufacturers will not honor your warranty unless you put these surge protectors. We're having a lot of up and down voltages, so that affects equipment.
We're quite familiar with
You're
that.
5 million. I told you, I'm
Unfortunately.
telling you. And so all these little, things, we advise the contractor on how to avoid all those things. Consumers, when they call us, we want to buy this online, we educate them as well and tell them, listen, do not buy stuff online. You could buy clothing, shoes, whatever you like, buy online that you could return. But electrical components and equipment you cannot buy and return.
Yes.
So don't get caught up
So
on that.
buyers beware.
Buyers beware.
Buy from reputable people, and that you have some recourse if the equipment
Right.
is, or the installer's not.
That is correct. Yeah. And a lot of the times what happens is the end user is the one that pays.
Of course.
Because now you bought an equipment, somebody installed it, they burned it. Now you have to go back and buy it again
Yes.
and pay somebody that knows how to do it. So you paid twice.
We've got
So-
just less than a minute left.
Yes, sir.
I want to congratulate you on moving towards doing those classes down there. Are they ongoing right now?
They're ongoing right now. Yes.
And is there a particular time that the new class starts, or do they come in wherever it happens to be?
We're going to have 2 programs available where they're going to be an open entry, open exit, so they can come in as needed, because we know and understand their schedules. But if not, we're going to have a set program that's going to be with a schedule that you need to follow and participate every class to be able to finish it in the 8-month period. If you're an open entry, open exit, then you'll take longer to finish the program.
Ernie, thank you so much.
Michael, I want to thank the Miami Community Newspaper for always supporting us in Cutler Bay. To be honest, I've referred you several customers, and they've
Thank
been
you.
very happy
And
with
thank you very
the
much for doing
outcome.
that.
And again, just look at this Cutler Bay magazine, pick it up in every corner,
Oh, my goodness.
every place, and just
An
read whatever's going
an
on in town.
unsolicited commercial.
There
right
you
here.
go. The
Folks,
best here.
Thanks for joining us, folks. Have a good day.
Thank you, Michael.
And thank you, Andre.